welcome back for another video. Right now my youngest is in our bedroom right here. He's just kind of chilling, watching a show. He hasn't been sleeping real great at night, and so he's been really kind of blah during the day and not wanting to do much but just lay around. I really hope that that doesn't mean he is getting sick somehow. We are going on vacation in a few weeks, and I really hope he's not sick when we go, although in his true fashion, he always gets sick right before we go on vacation, during the holidays, like days before the holiday when you can't take him to the doctor anymore, or when we're on a vacation. It happens every single time we go somewhere. It happens every single time there's a big event to do something. So I'm really hoping that he's not getting sick, but I'm kind of just letting him rest and lay around and just kind of do whatever he wants to do, hoping that he'll kick whatever he has going on. I also think he has allergies, and so I'm thinking maybe that has to do with why he's not sleeping real great at night. So this video is going to be about foster care during COVID and what is kind of going on in our area in terms of foster care during COVID. Now, right now, we have not had any placements during this COVID time. From emails, what I gathered was that at one point, all in-person visitations had stopped, and you could do phone call visitations or video visits with the kiddos if the parents were able and willing to do that. Like I said, we have not had any visits, so I did not have to experience any of that. We also just shortly ago received an email saying that all in-person visits were going to resume in the next couple weeks, and so they had guidelines on what they would follow to do those. It sounds like visits are not going to be happening at the visit center at the county building, probably just because then they have to sanitize and clean everything in between, and they probably either don't have the people or the supplies to do so. So it sounds like all visits are going to be community visits, which is fine. I think that's probably better. Sometimes it gets a little hard to just sit in one tiny room with your kids playing versus getting out and going somewhere, especially with older kiddos. When this COVID time started, we received an email, as I assume all foster parents in our area received, wanting to know if we would accept a placement during this COVID time, if our family would be open to that. And we simply just needed to respond and say, yes, we would accept a placement during this time, or no, we wouldn't. And after talking about it with my husband, we decided that we would accept a placement during this time. Our parameters are not super tight right now, but I think because a lot of these kids aren't in places having extra sets of eyes on them, there's just not a lot of referrals for kids right now. I imagine when everything starts going back to normal, as it kind of has already started here, there's going to be an overabundance of phone calls. I am selfishly hoping that none of that happens until after we're back from vacation, because I hate saying no to placements. We have said no in the past, but I really feel guilty saying no. And so I would really, really hate for us to get a call for a placement that we would take in a heartbeat, but have to say no because we're going on vacation. So I'm really kind of crossing my fingers, hoping we don't get the call until after vacation, because then we have nothing going on. But it never works like that for us. We always get phone calls in the most chaotic times. So it's either going to happen right before we go on vacation, or most likely right when we get home from vacation and our house is torn apart and things are absolutely crazy. So with that said, we're still waiting, but we would be willing to take a placement. Now, just a couple days ago, we got another email, which I assume was sent out to all of the foster families who agreed to take kiddos during this time, wanting to know if we would be willing to take a COVID positive placement. Now, in the email, it detailed that you would be getting a increased stipend until the kiddo tests negative for COVID, and that if you chose to take a COVID placement and you chose to take the COVID placement into a hotel to keep the rest of your family safe, that the county would also pay for the hotel, and they would also pay for all PPE supplies that were needed during that time. Now, I really went back and forth with this. I am not super concerned about COVID for myself. I feel like if we were to have a COVID issue, I have a pretty good immune system. Everyone in my house always gets sick, and I rarely get sick. Knock on wood. I said it. Now it's out in the open. But I generally don't get sick very often. And when someone is sick, I am like extreme about washing my hands, not getting really close to the people who are sick, and all of that kind of stuff. And I think with appropriate PPE, I feel confident that having a COVID kiddo would be okay and that I would not be at risk for getting sick. Now, I can't say the same for my family. So then we would be looking at then I would have to take that child to a hotel. Well, that's not going to really work for our family because my husband is still working, so there's nobody here to take care of our other kiddos. Also, the issue has arisen since we are going to go on vacation and we are leaving the state. My stepson's mother is an essential worker. She works in the hospital, and she's currently being told that if we go on vacation and take our stepson with us, that he will have to essentially self-quarantine away from her for 14 days when we return. So basically, she cannot see him for 14 days after we return from vacation, or she's at risk for losing her job because of where she works. And she's tried arguing and saying like, well, I'm not the one who's leaving. I'm not the one who's going away. He's the one that's leaving, and everything else. But we haven't gotten the official word on if that's really the way it's going to work or not. So it's quite possible. She has said, we asked her like, well, do you not want us to take him on vacation? And she said, no, you can still take him on vacation. I'm okay with him going on vacation. She was like, I just kind of need you to be prepared that he might be spending 2 additional weeks with you when we get back, should he not be able to come here. I think that kind of sucks for her. It sucks for him. So we're still planning on taking him on vacation with us. But I imagine the same thing would happen if we were to accept a COVID kiddo here. Either he would not be able to return for 2 weeks after the exposure was up to see her, or he wouldn't be able to come here because then he wouldn't be able to go back there. So ultimately, in the end, we decided that that was just not fair to our oldest to accept a COVID kiddo and then say, well, you can't come here for who knows how long, because who knows how long it would take that kiddo to recover from COVID. And it's not fair to her, if he were here when that happened, for him to not be able to go back there. So ultimately, in the end, we chose not to take a COVID kiddo. I don't know that they have COVID kiddos in mind or that they're looking for placements for COVID kids. I think that they're just trying to plan ahead for upcoming things, especially since our state finally has gotten a lot of testing underway. So, like I said, we're still here. We're still waiting for a placement. I am okay with that right now. I'm just enjoying the kids that we have and the time that I get to spend with them. Our oldest is officially done with school. Yay, no more online school. I'm hoping and praying that they will get back to school in the fall. We're watching really closely to see what's going to happen in terms of how kids go back to school in the fall, because right now some of the things that the CDC is recommending are things I feel like a preschool class could never function doing. And so I don't know if our youngest is going to end up going to preschool in the fall, but I guess we'll find out. All right, everyone, have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.